this a prism or a pyramid?
No.
How many bases does a prism have? How many bases does a pyramid have? How many bases are here? Is the base always on the bottom? No. They're congruent parallel. What shape are the bases here? They're trapezoids. And they do happen to be on the top and the bottom. Those are not congruent and parallel. They're definitely not parallel. Like these, they would intersect if the sides kept going. So congruent and parallel would be the two trapezoids. So it's a prism. What is the volume formula for a prism? Area of the base. I will correct you every time because a lot of people see this B and they think base. It is area of the base. So you have to do something to find this number. And then it is times the height of the whole prism. Let's go ahead and find the height. What is the height between the two trapezoids? 13. I agree. 13. All right, and then how? I'm just going to tell you. Let's talk about it. This B. B stands for area of the base, so we need to find the area of the base. We said the shape of the base is a trapezoid. So we're going to find the area of the trapezoid. So we're finding all of this area. What is the area formula for a trapezoid? 1/2 B1 plus B2 times H. What do I know about B1 and B2? She might have said it. Just quiet. They're parallel. Perfect. So, on our trapezoid, what are the two parallel sides of the trapezoid? So there's four sides of a trapezoid, right? There's this one, and this one. We all see in the thick red. Is this side parallel to another? No. Is this side parallel to another? Yes, it is parallel to 7. So my two bases are correct, 7 and 4. So 7 plus 4. And then the height. The height is what separates the two bases of my trapezoid. So we're only looking at the trapezoid, right, which is on the top. What is the height of the trapezoid only, not the prism? It is not. It is 3. Where are you getting 5 from? Oh, yeah, no. So the height of the trapezoid is always what separates the two bases. Okay, so this case it would be 3. So 1/2. 7 plus 4 is 11. And then keep the 3. What is 3 times 11? 33. So we have half of 33, which is 16.5. So what do I do with this 16.5? Yeah, we're going to plug it in. So what do we say? 16.5. And we're multiplying it times the height, which is 13. What is 16.5 times 13? 214.5 meters. It is volume. So is it meters, meters squared, or meters cubed? Meters cubed. Yes, sir.
Is the 3 meters thing, is it going from the 7 meter line to the 4 meter line?
Yes, sir.
Why is it like dotted?
So dotted because it's not actually there. It's just showing the length. You'll see it a lot of times in triangles. So if you had a triangle like this, the height, it's just showing from the very top to the very bottom. You'll also see sometimes it on the outside like this. It's just a way to show the height. Good question. Any others for this one? He answered the question in pink highlighter. I'm just not gonna go near that today. Let's go to the next question. She's at the bottom. The volume of the triangular prism is 1,008 cubic centimeters. Find the base height. So are we looking for the volume here? No, we know the volume, right? What is the volume? 1,008. Okay, let's go ahead and highlight for a second. We know the volume's 1,008, right? These two go together. What else is important to note about this shape? It is a prism, and in particular, it's a triangular prism. And then we're going to find the base height. So if we highlighted the bases, again, do the bases have to be on the bottom? No, my two triangles are not on the bottom, but they are the bases of the shape. So the volume formula, volume equals area of the base times the height. What is the height of the whole, well, pause before that. Back it up. We know the volume, right? So when you know the volume, I told you the easiest thing to do, if we know the volume, is to plug in the area formula. So that means not going off to the side and finding the area, but actually plugging it in. So where it says B for area of the base, we're actually going to plug in the formula for the area of the base. The shape of the base is a triangle. So what is the base, the area formula for a triangular base? 1/2 base times height. If you had a second color to highlight to show what we're doing, this comes from the base, but it is still, bless you, volume is still area of the base, because as it's written right now, this is just area. To make it volume, you multiply it times the height. So I'm going to put a capital H. This represents the height of the prism. It's what makes the prism three-dimensional. This lowercase h is the height of the triangle. There are two different heights. We all kind of see. This would be the height. I'll show you. The lowercase h I made would be the height. So again, this is where you would see a dotted line to show. So sometimes dotted lines are shown like this to show that it's behind the shape, but other times there's not actually a line here, but it's to show that this would be the measurement of the height. So we're going to plug in everything we do know. What is the volume of this prism? 1008 equals 1/2. What is the measure of the base of the triangle? 12. Do we know the height of the triangle? No. Okay, and then times the height of the prism, which is 21. The height of the prism is what separates the two triangles from each other. So now what is happening on this right side? It's all being multiplied, right? So go ahead and multiply all the numbers together. The 1/2 times 12 times 21. What is 1/2 of 12? 6, and then times 21, we get, correct, 126. And then we still have h times h. So 1/2 times 12 times 21 makes 126, and then h. So how do I solve for h? Yeah, divide 126 into 1008. And what do we get as our height? 8. And centimeters. Is it centimeters, centimeters squared, or centimeters cubed? It's just centimeters. It is a length. Good. We're going to do the top right question on Monday, if you're ready to flip. Okay, so this is where I'll either dump water on the floor or it'll be less messy. We're going to talk about prisms, or pyramids. So, what you're going to learn about pyramids is, I'm going to show you the formula and then explain and show you in real life why it is the way that it is. You already know the volume formula of a prism. What is the volume formula of a prism?
Base times height.
Area of the base times the height. A pyramid is 1/3 of a prism. So that's it. It is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Go ahead and write it in and highlight it, and then I will show you with my prism and pyramid. So 1/3 area of the base times the height. Make sure you note that B stands for area of the base. You still have to find the area and plug it in just like you did with prisms. So if that is the case, pyramids are 1/3 of prisms. So I picked up my triangular prism and my triangular pyramid. They're both the same height if I stood them up on the table. They both have the same triangular base. So because of this, this pyramid is exactly 1/3 of this prism. So to show you, I'm going to dump water in it. How many pyramids would it take to fill an entire prism if a pyramid is 1/3 of a prism? 3. So hold out your hand and we're going to make this work so people can see. Your hand's going to get wet. People can't see it there. What do you? Can everyone see? How am I supposed to dump that?
Oh.
Come over here.
You might want to stand up. Man.
Sure, stand up. That's fine. I dumped it on Josh Robinson. Javon and Riley definitely can't see.
Oh, we can see.
All right, ready? Well, they can get up and move. So here's one. I'm not left-handed.
Oh, now we're watching.
I'm sorry. Oh, did I run out of water? Hold on. I'll get some for my... John, you're missing it. So look at where it's at. It's about 2/3. Not about. It is at 2/3. Other than the amount I dumped on his shoe. You know. It's fine. Well, they can't see. Turn around. Is any about you? All right, let's go.
Most of all, see good.
Javon can't see.
Come on.
Oh, dang.
So 3 pyramids make 1 prism. So now you gotta drink it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Let me get my. Where'd the cup go? Where'd the cup go? Oh, it's right there. Just dump it back in. There you go. Could do it 3 times. Oh my gosh. It's fine. You could just put it all over here. I appreciate you.
My bad, guys.
Perfect. So, a pyramid is how much of a prism? Is 1/3.
I can have
That's it. That's my water, so no. I
I
drink after that.
Okay.
I don't think that's it.
Oh. Right there.
I don't know. Okay, it's fine. Find the volume. Okay, so go ahead and take your highlighter. What is the base in number 1? What shape is it? It's a triangle. Go ahead and highlight the triangle. So volume of a pyramid, because that's what we're working with, is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So let's go ahead and find the area of the base. What shape is the base? A triangle. So what's the area formula for a triangle? 1/2 base times height. What is the base here? 6. And the height is of the triangle. Remember, it is 4. Okay, so we have 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, what is 6 times 4? Half of 24 is 12. So that is my area of the base. So 1/3 times 24 times the height. What is the height of the whole pyramid? It is 9. So you can do this one of 2 ways. Personally, I think it's really easy to find 1/3 of some of these numbers. What's 1/3 of 24?
8.
Is 8. You could do 8 and then drop down the 9. 8 times 9 is 72. That's option 1. If you don't like figuring out 1/3, to multiply by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. So what you can do, what is 24 times 9? Just type it in. 216. And then to find 1/3 of it, you would divide it by 3, which is still 72. So there's a lot of ways that you can do this. And it is volume, so it is centimeters cubed. All right, the second one, what is the shape of the base? It is a square. How do I know it's a square?
Because both sides are the same.
Yeah, it's 6 by 6. So that's a square. Even though, our eyes say one side's a little longer, it's all about perception. So it is still a pyramid. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times the height. So let's find the area of the base. What is the actual formula for the area of a square? You can do side squared, correct. You can do length times width, but the official one is side squared. But what is the length of the sides on the square? 6, and then 6 squared, parentheses. What did you say?
36.
Oh, I thought you said parentheses. 6 squared is 36. I'm sorry. So 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 36, and then times the height of the pyramid, which is 8. So again, I find it easiest to, what's 1/3 of 36? 12. Is 12, and then times 8.
I don't know that.
It's 96. And then it is inches cubed. Yes, sir.
Number 1, Why are you telling 24, not 12?
Number 1, what? What is it?
A equals 1/2 pH,
Right.
and for the answer for that was 12. Why
Correct.
didn't we use it in the volume formula?
We did. Oh, we did not. Okay, Noah noticed a mistake, which stinks because I'm recording. But I'm going to give him a piece of candy for paying attention and finding the mistake. Where's the mistake in the first question? Yeah, I wrote 24 instead of 12, which is dumb. So, what is 12 times 9? That would be the better way. Oh, then y'all weren't doing math.
Well, we still got the right answer, though.
12, that's because
We were thinking our head.
none of y'all corrected me. 12 times 9 is 108. No, we're not right.
Oh, sure.
A third of 108 is 36. Okay. I appreciate you letting me know. You can always, let me know, while I'm making the mistake. All right. Ready for the next one? We like the next one actually a little bit better because why is this one easier than the ones we've been doing? Yeah, they already told me the area of the base, right? 27. I don't have to do very much math for that. I'm just going to use the volume formula. Volume for a pyramid is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So what's the area of the base? 27. And then times the height of the pyramid, which is 5. So 1/3 of 27 is 9 times 5 is 45 centimeters cubed. The last one. It is still a pyramid. So 1/3 area of the base times the height. So what shape is the base? A rectangle. So we will need to find the area of a rectangle. What is the area formula? Length times width, which would be 4 times 1, which is 4. So 1/3 times area of the base, which is 4, and then times the height, which is 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. 1/3 of 24 is 8 feet cubed. You can do 1/3 of 6, which is 2 times 4 is also 8. Yeah. Killing it. All right, good. Next question. So we aren't really learning new things anymore. We're just applying it to a pyramid. You've already done a problem like this with prisms. Now we're just doing it with a pyramid. So a pyramid with a rectangular base has a volume of 6 cubic feet. The length of the rectangular base is 3 feet, and the width is 1.5 feet. Find the height of the pyramid. So let's take our highlighter. What are some important words? Let's start with the first sentence. What are the important words there? We know we got a pyramid, rectangular base. Correct. So we got volume of 6 cubic feet. Those are the most important parts of our first sentence. Okay, pyramid is important, and then rectangular base is important because whenever they give you the volume, you need to plug in the area formula. We already wrote it. Well, I already wrote it once today. Okay, you're going to plug in the area formula, and knowing what kind of base it is, that's what kind of area formula we'll plug in. Then it says the length of the rectangular base is 3 feet, and the width of the base is 1.5 feet. Find the height of the pyramid. So we know of 2 formulas, right? Yeah. We know of this one, and we know of this one. Correct? What is the difference? What is the first formula for? A prism. And this one is of a pyramid. Which one are we working with? The pyramid, correct. So the most common thing I'm seeing people do on the classwork is they're just not using the formula for a pyramid. All right, so whenever you see these types of questions where they gave us the volume is 6, we are going to plug in the area formula for this base. So what is the area formula for a rectangular base? Length times width. So we're going to do volume equals 1/3. Instead of writing the B for area of the base, we're going to find the length and the width, and then I just drop down the height. So all I did was replace area of the base with the area of the base. The volume, 6. That equals 1/3. What is the length? It is 3. And then the width, 1.5. And then we don't know the height. You should not need a calculator for this. What's 1/3 of 3? Is 1. So if 1/3 of 3 is 1, what's 1 times 1.5? 1.5. So we have 6 equals 1.5 h. So what would I do to solve for h? Divide by 1.5. Correct. So h equals 4, and it is, where is it? Feet. Is it feet? Feet squared, feet cubed. Feet. All right, we got 2 more, then you're on your own. The pyramids are similar. Find the volume of pyramid B. So which of these is the most important word? Similar. Go ahead and highlight it. What does similar tell me?
Proportional.
They're proportional. Go ahead and write that in, Javon. So find the volume of pyramid B. So there was a formula you use, right? We take the sides and we make them proportional to the volume, but this isn't it, right? What's missing in my formula? The cubed. Which ones? The sides are cubed. The most common mistake I'm seeing, go ahead and write the cube. I would also highlight it if I were you. Most people are not cubing, and you're going to get a very, very wrong answer. So, here's what that looks like. What is a side from the first shape? A side or a length, it doesn't matter. 15, and the corresponding side or length is 10, and it equals the volume from the first, which is 125, and then the volume of the second, we don't know. We're going to call it B. This is when I really suggest reducing. 15 and 10 are both divisible by 5. What is 15 divided by 5? 3, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Did I cube it yet, though? No, so I got to keep the cube. Okay, so whenever you cube something, you're going to multiply it times itself 3 times. When you cube a fraction, you cube the top and you cube the bottom. So what is 3 times 3 times 3? 27 goes in the numerator. The bottom is 2. Again, we cube the bottom as well. So 2 times 2 times 2, 8. And then I'm just rewriting my second fraction here, 125 over V. Now I have one fraction set equal to another, so what do? Cross multiply. 27V equals 1,000. Divide by 27. And the volume is? Which one? What's 1,000 divided by 27?
37.0.
Good. 37.0, we'll say 4. And it is inches cubed. Are there any questions on similar pyramids? Okay, we're going to do one more. We've got a wakey, eggs and bakey. We're going to find the volume of the composite solid. There are 2 shapes, correct? Are the shapes being combined together, or are they being subtracted from each other? They're being combined. So, let's see what it would look like if one of them were being taken away.
It's like the one on top.
Yeah. So it's on top, so it's
I
added,
don't
right?
say like if it's taken away, like it'll be like the one from yesterday.
No.
No, it's not.
It's not like the one from yesterday.
It's exactly the opposite.
Get this thing out. So if something were cut out, it would be inside like this. So that would, you would find the volume of the outside shape, find the volume of the inside shape, and then you would subtract them. Okay, we're going to have problems like that. We just haven't yet. Here, we just have a pyramid on top of a specific type of prism. Let's start with the pyramid. I think it's easiest if you label as you go. So we're going to find the pyramid. Also helps if you kind of highlight what the shape is. The base is very important to note. What kind of pyramid is this?
A square.
It is a square pyramid. How do I know the bottom is a square? Well, it's going to be congruent to the bottom portion. So it is 6 by 6. Okay, so it is a square pyramid. What is the volume formula for any pyramid? 1/3 area of the base times the height. So let's find the area of the base. So we're finding the area of this base. So what is the area formula for a square? Yes, side squared. What is the length of the side? 6. So 6 squared, which is 36. So we'll have 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 36. And then the height of the pyramid. So just the pyramid. 6. You could do 1/3 of 36, which is 12. Times 6, you're correct. So drop down that 6. 12 times 6 is 72. So that's the first portion. I usually highlight it so I can find it later, because we're going to do more math, and then, you know. The bottom shape is a little different. Is it a prism or a pyramid? It's a prism, and technically has a square base, but we don't call things square prisms. What do we actually call them? Think in real life.
A box.
It's a cube.
Ice cube.
It's a cube.
It's a box.
Okay, so we're trying to find the volume of this cube here, all right? So if you remember, when we find the area of a square, you can use the official area formula, which is side squared. What other formula could you also use? Length times width, which is a rectangular area formula. A square is a type of rectangle. So you can use the rectangle formula here, you know, if you want. So,
Based on height.
yeah, it's the same thing. What do you mean?
Is it?
Well, you're still going to do, it's a prism, right?
Mm.
What is the volume formula for a prism?
Based on height.
Area of the base times the height. So let's first find the area of the base. We said the base is a square, and it's still, the side is 6, so the area of this base is also 36. And then times the height. What is the height of, it is, 6. This is the height over here. So times 6. What is 36 times 6? 216. So what do I do with these two numbers? I add them together. So I'm adding these two, and they make 288, and it is meters cubed.